When words fall short, when hope feels thin, listen close, let music begin.
Hi, everybody. It is my privilege today to introduce you to Theresa Doherty. Hi, how you doing, Theresa?
I'm just great, Cynthia. Thank you so much for meeting with me in this opportunity.
Well, yes, and you're all about life is a blessing. I love that title. So tell us what you speak on.
Well, I teach people how to harness the power of an experienced woman.
Whoa. You know, I love that. I love that because women experience with their heart
Mm.
and their soul. Men do too, but women, I think, understand it a little better because we do so many things. We're multitaskers without compensation.
For the most part, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I always say, I told my husband one time, I said, if you just came home and said, wow, look at how clean the floor is. Wow, look at all these dishes. Whoa, the laundry's done. I said, but I don't get a paycheck like that. That's when we first got married. Anyway,
Yes.
so
Well, we're still together, so hopefully things have adjusted over the years.
42 years
Yeah.
we've been together. Tell us your story. It sounds like there's something going on there that you want to promote the power of women.
Absolutely. It's an extensive story, as a lot of stories are for all of us women. You know, we women come to the role through our different decades that are informed by our experiences, the people that we encounter, the lessons that we learn. And you absolutely said it right. We feel with our soul and with our heart. We're emotionally driven. And so for me, a simple effort to try to change precedent in law enforcement in Canada to be hired as an older female officer was met with closed doors, discrimination. I was the recipient of assault. I reached out to every single police oversight agency in Ontario. That's the province that I come from. And when I expected these altruistic agencies that are created to intercept complaints of the public towards the police, what instead I received was closed doors. And I knew a long time ago if I wasn't going to get hired, it wasn't through any fault of my own. I was a university graduate, a college graduate. I'd raised some children. What I did do was rock the boat because they usually hire typically young male recruits in their mid-20s. And so I came into the picture 20 years after that, trying to say, wait a minute, I've reached all of my merits and I should be equally considered for the role of a police officer. And I could not believe the vehement pushback that I got from all of these agencies. So I fashioned all of that into my book, which is called The Optics of Policing, Shattering the Myth of Canada's Justice System, Recruiting, Oversight, and the Human Rights Commission, because I was involved with all of those agencies. And I hope that it offers a critical analysis of a broken system. And with respect to your podcast, I'm using all of that information and who I believe that I am as a woman, as a woman who has seen these events happen and was shocked and disturbed by them. It wasn't reconciled in me to just let it be and move on with my life. I felt that the woman in me wanted to share my story with other, not just women, but people in general, and to understand that the response of these agencies was not correct. They should have supported me and they did not do that. But I think I got there because I've always been a person of conviction and a person of passion and I follow my own moral compass. So perhaps because I wasn't a doughy-eyed 20-year-old recruit, and more so a woman in her mid-40s when I got started, I realized that I could speak up and I could say in the right way and addressing the right people that this isn't right. Why am I not getting hired? And I spoke from the heart, but then I had to really hone in the way that I approached these agencies. I reached out to the Human Rights Commission. I reached out to the Special Investigations Unit. And again, over the years, I discovered that none of these agencies were created that fulfilled their mandate. So that's put in towards the book. And all I can do is say that as a woman, I had to include a chapter about gender pay inequity and how still to this day, women make 89 point something towards every $1 that men make. I speak about homelessness. I speak about how women have so much to give and so much to offer. We have a voice, and oftentimes, and not all the time, because there are some wonderful women leaders out there. Of course there are. But because of the industry that I chose, it's not set up that way. It's more of a male-dominated patriarchal organization. So I've got that done. I'm moving on. I'm always writing every single day because it fascinates me, it interests me, and I believe that there's so much to say. But I come to this podcast, like any of the other women who have joined, because I think we women really do offer a unique perspective to how we should lead by example and live our lives. Now, my life is dictated by that mindset, but I'm also informed by a higher power. I believe that we're only here for a short period of time. And honest to gosh, as the years are progressing, you can't believe how fast that's changed. When you're in your early 20s, you know, you've got the world is your oyster. And so it should be. It should be full of promise. I have kids now that are that age. And I'm so excited for what the future can hold for them. But I've also seen, as I went through my 30s and 40s and now in my 50s, that is, the ceiling is closing down for older workers and for older women. The opportunity is not there. And more distressing is that you're not encouraged to share those perspectives. It's not welcome because it's still a culture where youth is valued, and so it should be. But what I'm suggesting is so should people of any age, women and men, of course. But I think that women often get the short end of the stick, and they don't get to see their dreams and their talents and their skills realized on a wider scale. And if I couldn't be a small voice or part of the conversation towards sharing that, as other women do, then I'm thrilled to do so. I feel like I'm obligated to do so.
I absolutely love that, Theresa.
Oh, well, thank you, Cynthia.
I really, really do. And good for you to go the extra mile saying, wait a minute, there's value in me. There is value because, and I think it stems down from even the burning times in the Middle Ages when women were harvested if they didn't have a man taking care of them. They were
Right.
accused of being witches and they were burned. And and it was just postmenopausal women because women were only seen as someone that could procreate and take care of the household. That was it.
That's absolutely right. Yes.
And it hasn't been that long. In fact, in some places where that has changed.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, I'm a composer, and we all know Schumann, who was a wonderful composer, but do people know that his wife was also a composer and a master piano player? You see.
Amazing that you point that out. They probably don't, because it was all about the man's efforts.
Exactly. In fact, I'm a composer, And I ask people all the time, name me a woman composer.
Yes.
And most people, uh, well, name me a man. And they go, well, and I'll say Beethoven, Chopin,
Right.
that type of thing. We are just peeking through right now where we are being recognized. But the difference is we never expected the recognition. We did it because it needed to be done.
That's right.
That's what women do. We
Yeah,
do it because it needs to be done, not to get the glory. And in fact,
absolutely.
that's not what we do. And I love this. Tell me about somebody in your life that you've made a difference, because it sounds to me like you have this vast knowledge that you can share with us.
Well, humbly, I would say that other people I've met through the course of my life have affected me equally. But I will say that if I was to pinpoint a couple of people, there's both men and women, but there's a certain couple of women that know what I have been through, all my experiences, all my attempts of what I'm trying to be a part of change, and the conversation. And they have said to me personally that they're grateful for me, stepping out and sharing my perspective, and that has meant the world to both a woman and a man, that has meant the world to them, and that insight impacted them in a positive way, which is so fulfilling and wonderful. I'm very grateful for that.
Well, yes, because you bring up the value of women. And everybody knows, they always say that behind a successful man, there's a good woman. It's the secretary, the program manager, somebody who's taking care of business, making him look good. Now, I know, and I've heard you, that you love to sing. You have a wonderful voice. Tell me
Thank
a
you.
song that just fires you up.
Well, you spoke earlier about Linda Ronstadt and the Eagles, and that 70s, 80s genre, and which was a great era, by the way, the 70s, and women burning the bras and the burning of the books and all that. And hooray for them for trying to make strides. Gloria Steinem, all of that. And while I wouldn't call myself a full-blown feminist, I very much support women who are unafraid to come out, and speak their truth. There's so many songs, Cynthia. You as a composer and a singer as well.
Give me one. Give me one.
You know what? Recently I learned this song. It's terrific. It's called 100 Years. And Five for Fighting, I think the group is called. But it's a quick little synopsis of life and what you've got going at a 15-year-old young person through the steps to when you get to be 100 years old. And not only is it a song, it's kind of like a testament to what we can do in those stages of our lives. It's terrific.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I have so enjoyed this.
Me too.
And I am looking forward to seeing you speak.
Oh, me too. I'm looking forward to that opportunity too.
Okay. And when you finish that book, we'll do another podcast. Okay.
That's wonderful. I'd be grateful for that. Thank you so much, Cynthia.
Okay. Thank you.